In the wrestling world, the people are represented by two separate but unequally important groups. The wrestlers and bookers, who literally do all the hard work, and the fans, who endlessly nitpick and overanalyze everything they do. These are their stories. Welcome to Raw and Order, the wrestling booking unit, the only wrestling podcast on the planet fighting off zombie hordes right now. Zombies. We are joined, as always, I am your host, Detective Mark Sparks, and I'm joined, as always, by my partners in crime, fighting, starting off, District Attorney Vincent Kayfabe, who's apparently a dinosaur.
Yeah, I was absolutely terrified of the zombies, so I figured if I threw double-headed snake from a Lego Ninjago book, I have to give credit if I use their image. So Lego Ninjago, go read it. It's a great book. It says my 7-year-old, 8-year-old now. He just had a birthday. I forgot.
Yeah, happy birthday.
But I was happy because I actually had a conversation with you yesterday about how to handle zombie apocalypses. So I was happy when I used my wooden spoon and said bibbidi boppity boop, and that match was over. So I have to thank your daughter for giving me the spell.
My 3-year-old daughter has decided that she knows everything about zombies. And that they can be warded off with a wand of some sort and the spell bibbidi bobbidi boo.
It worked. It worked great.
Yeah, apparently it works really good. So also joining us from up north, RCMP JLB. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm as good as I can be. Zombie apocalypses happen in wrestling now, and
yeah,
I don't know. I'm still kind of surprised. So excuse my not knowing what to say. I'm still baffled by what I've seen, but I'm sure we'll get into it with our lovely review rewards. So
yeah,
I'm here.
Yes. So we are going to do this review in the way that we have been doing recently, where we go through the worst and then the best of, rather than just a match by match breakdown. We're going to go through and we're going to talk about the worst, and then we're going to come back and talk about the best. This night we might struggle a bit with some of the best, but we've got a lot of fodder for the worst. Right.
Yeah, I would attest that there were solidly 3 good matches, maybe 4.
Yeah, and that's the deal. Here's what I'm going to say right off the bat. The things that were bad about this pay-per-view were typically not the in-ring stuff.
Yeah, it was booking.
I say that meaning not the actual act of wrestling, not the work from the people. It was booking and some really, really bizarre things.
Yeah.
Absolutely bizarre. Before we get into that, though, I want to remind everyone that Raw and Order is part of the Tatnisco podcast network. So you can head on over to tatnisco.com, click the link for the network, and see all the other shows in the network there, and come back and watch more of us. I'd like to welcome you. This is what, our 3rd full live stream. So we're getting a little bit more in the hang of this whole live streaming thing. It's an interesting change of pace from what we had been doing before, because for the last almost 2 years we've been doing this exclusively as an audio podcast. We've been recording it over Skype, but I didn't have a web camera until relatively recently, so it was entirely audio over Skype, and so getting used to that. But make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It's all down there at the bottom. Follow us on the social media. You can follow me at Raw and Order WBU, and we'll tell you how to follow those other people later. There also is a link tree with all of the links to all our socials and stuff at linktree.com/Raw and Order WBU, as you see there on screen. So make sure to head on there, and you can find all the ways to pay attention to us that way, including our Patreon and our merch store. So you can figure out all that stuff. Up front, I do want to warn people, I've been battling a real tickle in my throat, so I may have to mute suddenly so I can cough occasionally. Just so you know, if you suddenly see me go,
or we're talking about the zombie apocalypse match.
Yeah, I might just mute then because I'm about to explode.
Vomit.
Straight up.
So yeah, well, we're gonna go ahead and kind of get into it. Feel free to your thoughts, anything you have. You can actually leave us a comment on YouTube live, and we will eventually see it. We might not see it as soon as you post it, but we'll see it. So just head on over to the comment section and leave us a comment there, whatever you think of. But we're gonna do this in the way that we do before. We're gonna start off with the worst and the biggest one that we always start off with. We get it the scandal out of the way first. Worst match of the night. What match do you think was the worst? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead. It's going to be the same. So
yeah, well, I
maybe
mean,
not.
Did you really want to see Dominic win the tag titles?
Oh, snap. Is it really the worst match?
The match itself. Now, I would say, I'll say this. Had Damian Priest and Miz not looked at each other and been like, well, let's handle these zombies first, and then we can fight. Had that not happened, it's solidly worse. Or it's a better in-ring match. If they just let the two perform, it's a better in-ring match than is Dominic and Ray versus Ziggler and everything. Ziggler and Bobby Roode. I thought the in-ring wrestling was really good until Dominic came in, and we all know how we all feel about that. So I am going to give the Zombie Apocalypse the worst match of the night. But I did want to mention there's a pretty solid honorable mention in everything Dominic does until he gets some time in development. So it's just an opinion.
Yeah, no, that's a valid point. Honestly, I can't unsee what I saw with the zombie match, and it's gonna. I honestly was just praying. I'm like, okay, can this be over? This is ridiculous. I felt embarrassed for the people who booked this match, for the camera crew who was filming this match, for the wrestlers who were in this match, for the zombies who were being the zombies in the match, for that zombie that was on the chair, on that commentary chair too. For the commentators
under the
themselves, under the desk, for the commentators that were calling it, for Morrison for being involved and even had to do a little bit more with the zombies when they were backstage. It was just a total shit show. I get it. You wanted to promote the Army of Darkness and whatever, and I guess maybe Vince got a couple of coins here and there to say, hey, show more zombies or something, and we'll give you more, plug us more, and we'll give you more money for advertisement or something. Maybe that was the case, and it did trend on Twitter, so maybe they got what they needed. But I mean, I was going to say a Rob Schneider. It's a Snyder movie, so I don't think you needed all that much publicity. But yeah, I'm certainly going with the zombie match. It just didn't make any sense, and I was embarrassed. Well, I've been embarrassed to be a WWE fan for quite some time now, but I was really, 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 really embarrassed to be a WWE fan when I was looking at this match. So there you have it.
Yeah, so that's kind of where it comes down to for me. I was thinking about this going into today. I was going, this has the chance of being that pay-per-view that comes along and makes us go, hey, we've been giving WWE crap all week long or all month long about, their bad Raws, their bad SmackDowns, all of this stuff. Maybe this pay-per-view comes along and surprises us and is really, really good and makes us go, I don't know why we're so down on it during the week, but the pay-per-view, I was wrong. It was not that pay-per-view that made us think that. But it wasn't, like I said earlier, it wasn't bad from a wrestling standpoint. Even the match that we, I think, universally agree was the worst of the night, the zombie match, was not bad from a wrestling in-ring skill standpoint.
Yeah, it was bad from a booking standpoint.
Correct. It was bad from a I'm not even going to say booking, because it's like, it's bad from a stupid cross-promotional money decision standpoint.
Yeah, but doesn't script writing fall under booking, and thus this is a,
For the most part, but I'm being more specific. It's specifically this cash grab sponsorship that made it bad, right?
Yeah,
and we're not even mentioning the fact that they literally had Miz and Morrison eaten by zombies after the match.
Yeah, does that mean their contracts are up? Can they go wrestle somewhere else?
Please say yes.
Wow.
Especially from Morrison.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's so bad. WWE Fox even retweeted Ryan Satin's comment on him really not liking the zombie stuff, and WWE Fox retweeted it. Now, I know that's clearly a Fox thing, but and I get you want to be within in the Twitter realm of hating the match, but that looks so bad for WWE. To have your WWE Fox tweet that it was actually a really crappy match. But I guess, you got to call it like it is, and maybe that's what they were kind of going for.
The problem lies in any match like that, and maybe that we'll get to this in other promotions, but the problem lies in that you get a lot of, so the suspension of disbelief is entirely gone. You manage to keep zombies, mindless flesh-eating monsters, to stay in a room until it was time for them to come out. They came out. They stayed out of the ring. Didn't get involved. They didn't eat all of the people. They were weak. They had all sorts of. I mean, just it doesn't even fit zombie thought processes, and so it just misses. It does not promote anything in that process, other than what it would have promoted, saying "Army of the Dead" over and over and over again.
Yeah,
right.
Like, you could have promoted the movie over and over and over again, like they do with the theme songs and all the other things that they do cross promotion with. So
you're listening to the wonderful theme song by Booty Man and the Rockers.
So wait. Bruce the Barber Beefcake and Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty have a band?
Yes. Wow,
you're so out of the loop there, Mr. Fabe.
Yeah, I didn't know Brutus and Shawn and Marty had a band. That's great.
Yep. Booty Man and the Rockers.
It's called Hair Clips and Super Kicks. That's their...
Holy crap, that even works, because that's where the betrayal was. Did you do that on purpose, or is that just by accident?
No, that was just by accident. I just was thinking...
I was talking about Smarks.
Oh, snap.
Did you do that on purpose?
To be perfectly honest, it was entirely by accident. I wish I could take credit and say it was a entirely purposeful thing, but no,
that's incredible.
I totally forgot that Brutus the Barber Beefcake was involved in that. It was at the barber shop.
Yeah, that's incredible. Anyway, that is better storytelling by accident than a zombie.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It was like when we watched, they had the commercial for Army of Dead, whatever it's called. And in the middle of it, there was Kofi Kingston in the middle, and then they did some other stuff where it was like, here's some other WWE wrestlers and everything. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird and everything, but I don't know. I guess they have a cross promotion. That's fine, everything. And then it went back to regular. And then John Morrison is walking. I'm going to go talk to the Lumberjacks. And he opens the door, and there's fucking zombies.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like, am I taking crazy pills? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
You felt like the show had been hijacked by somebody who wanted it to be different, and it has been. By Vince.
Did you guys get the ECW comment that Graves had mentioned? He said something along the lines of, "This is not ECW coming back." He said something along like that. And I was like,
those are real zombies. Yeah, I do remember that.
I didn't get that comment. I was like, why are you throwing shade at EC? I guess just the whole one night stand thing. The second one was really garbage, perhaps. That's what they were doing. But it was kind of weird. I was like, why would you even relate? Did ECW have a zombie thing when WWE brought it back? I don't recall.
More importantly, I mean, the concept was the blood and all the horror and crazy gimmicks that they did in matches, where there's barbed wire and okay, so zombies are really a lot scarier than barbed wire, except they're not, because you just ruined any suspension of disbelief I can have.
Also, when New Jack killed someone, they stayed dead.
Wow.
Rest in peace, New Jack.
Yeah. Well,
that was
yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say too soon. That
was definitely too soon. Just a tad. And he didn't kill anyone technically. That's also a fair point.
He didn't kill anyone in a wrestling ring, but in his previous life, he openly admitted to, when he was working security and bounty hunting, to having been involved in deaths. So, but in the end, he still attempted to kill people multiple times. And I guarantee you, if he succeeded in the ring, they would not come back for brains.
Zombies,
not from New Jack. Ooh, too soon.
That might have been a little too soon.
Both of yours was a little too soon. Skip subject. Zombie match is the worst. What's next, Marks?
Yeah. Zombie match, universal pick. That's a conviction. Worst match of the night.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So now
that's
we've
conviction and we can go ahead and book, the penalty, which I think should be death to that concept.
Yes. I think that after this, starting on Raw, it never gets mentioned again.
If the Fiend did something with this, would you guys maybe would have accepted it more?
No, because again, the Fiend's concept originally, and they fucked it all up, but the Fiend's concept from originally was not supernatural, but psychotic.
Right.
It was psychological. And zombies still don't fit into that.
That's fair, yep.
But anyways, we'll move on to most predictable moment.
I'll go ahead. Oh, okay. You want to go first? He had you up.
But then you said I'll go ahead. Okay, put me back up.
Well, I wasn't looking at the screen. I wasn't paying attention. You go first.
I moved you up because you were the first person to say something.
Bianca Belair winning.
True. Oh, okay.
And this is not a dog on. I just, number one, I feel like her performance was so exceptionally good at WrestleMania. I honestly thought Asuka or Charlotte was going to win that match. By the end of the night, I was absolutely convinced that Cesaro was going to get a win. But I forgot that there had already been a title change earlier in the night. I was pretty sure I was pretty sure Bobby was going to win. But if they hadn't, it was going to be about moving that title more frequently amongst three really good competitors, maybe a fourth if they could get them in, like Shinsuke or AJ. And they could. I mean, they could have 5 solid competitors on Raw right now competing for that title. But I was pretty sure it was going to be Bobby. I didn't know for sure. I was 100% positive that Bianca was going to win. Number one, her performance at WrestleMania was exceptional. and I mean exceptional. Number two, you cannot hype up the social pieces of that victory at WrestleMania without and then immediately degrade them with a loss. There's too many important pieces to the social pieces that play, and then she's too good a performer to not keep that title on for a while. You cannot let her win over Sasha be a fluke. And so she needs some serious credibility long term, and I would leave her. I would leave her with that title probably till SummerSlam, maybe a little bit before that. Certainly not till Hell in the Cell, being at the wrong time of year. So I just felt that even after WrestleMania, that they needed to leave the new, fresh person holding the title with the title. In fact, her first singles title in WWE, because she never did win the NXT title.
Right, true.
So there's a lot of reasons to leave it on her for a while.
I mean, I felt a lot of the matches on the card was very predictable. However, in terms of most predictable moment, I am gonna have to go with Bobby Lashley's departure from the majority of the match. I'm just like, oh god, they're gonna do he was electrified and then come back. Or I guess maybe it might be a tie between Dominic feeling sick or whatever hurt and Bobby Lashley being electrocuted and then coming back towards the end to finish the job. I don't know why they keep doing this stupid storyline of that being a thing and us supposedly supposed to be shocked by that happening. They just do this every time, everywhere. They do it at like Royal Rumble. They start just doing it randomly in matches now, and it just takes away from the entire match, because I know the person that isn't part of the match anymore is going to come in. I'm probably going to give it to Lashley though, because I felt even if Dominic were to come, I wouldn't have thought they would have won the championships perhaps. So most predictable moment for me would definitely be Lashley disappearing for the majority of the match just to come back and win. That's what I'm going with.
Well, we're going to have a three-way disagreement here. Most predictable moment to me was the Mysterios winning.
Really?
I knew they were going to win the moment WWE said something, and this was like a couple days ago. They said something about they could be the first father-son pairing to win the SmackDown Tag Championships. I was like,
okay.
Oh, wait. Because WWE loves their firsts.
That's true.
And as soon as they said they could be the first father-son pairing to win SmackDown titles, tag titles, I was like, oh, that's because they're gonna.
Yeah, but you didn't think at all that they could be the first at the next pay-per-view?
Nope. No,
not knowing that it would be Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. A, not knowing that it would be Hell in a Cell, and B, WWE loves to hype up the firsts. And this was a first. And so
I mean, I think the whole issue with me in the tag team match for that was just the fact that I didn't care. I'm like, Bobby Roode isn't doing anything with it. Sure, maybe you can give it to the Mysterios, but I'm not going to care if they win it either. So to me, I guess I still maybe didn't consider. I don't know. I don't think I just gave a crap about the match to begin with. So maybe that's why I didn't see that happening per se. So because now I really just I think I care even less with Mysterios having it.
Here's the I'm not saying I care about it. I'm not saying as soon as WWE started hyping up it being the first father-son, I'm like, oh, they're not going to miss that opportunity.
Yeah,
they're going to do that.
And Ray will feel nice about it and feel, oh my God, I won these belts with my son. I'm sure that's a great moment for them and cool story. But I mean, in reality, it's not that crazy of an accomplishment just because the SmackDown titles are more useless than dirt at this point. So sure,
it's
you
not
won,
that crazy of an accomplishment because it's a scripted sport.
Okay, calm your tits. You know what I mean.
I mean, the simple fact is,
I thought that's where it was going to.
it's like it's scripted.
But you know what it's a shit title. It's like winning a 24/7 championship. You know what I mean? That's what I just mean in terms of like, okay, cool story, but no one's gonna think anything more of you because you have these tag belts. No one really cares. I don't know. At least that's how I feel in that regard. So I guess we're in a three-way disagreement here. I don't know how we're supposed to resolve this.
Throw that to the jury.
Yep.
We need those people watching and listening to let us know. So if you're watching, hit us up in the comments and say, I think that the most predictable moment was this moment or whatever. Or if you're listening later, hit us up in the tweets at Raw and Order WBU or at JLB420 or at DA Vincent Kayfabe, or on Facebook. Leave a message there. Whatever. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
right now, we think it's either Bobby Lashley disappearing for a while and then coming back, Bianca Belair winning, or the Mysterios winning. So let us know. Or are any of us right, or is it something else altogether? Hit us up.
That's it. Keep us posted. Let us know.
You could probably make a pretty solid argument for Roman winning being a foregone conclusion. However, he has had the title for quite some time. And what a really great opportunity to throw, I don't know, someone else in the title picture.
No. Roman ain't losing it until fans are back. I've said that before, and I think that's honestly what they're doing. Roman is kind of holding SmackDown, is really holding SmackDown together. So
he's also not losing it until they've built up someone to betray him for it. I think
that too.
Not necessarily to betray him to win it, but to betray him to help someone else win. And they haven't built up Jey Uso enough to have that betrayal. He's still the scared puppy. So
now Jimmy may very well be, and I kind of expected that a little bit tonight, but
yeah, I did expect more payoff to Jimmy being there, but whatever. But we will move on to the next topic. Botch of the night. Now, this isn't necessarily botch in terms of an absolutely screwed up move, but it's something that did not go as planned, necessarily, or maybe it was a bad booking decision. But so, what do we think? Botch of the night.
I don't know. I mean, I'll let JLB go first this time.
Oh yeah, because you don't know. I see what you did there. Botch of the night. I'm gonna have to go with the. I feel like
brains.
Okay, calm down. I feel like I'm gonna. Okay, I'm whatever. I'm not gonna do the zombie thing because yes, that was a botch, and that's probably the botch of the night. But I mean, whatever. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm so disgusted by it. So I'm probably gonna have to. I felt weirded by the Bianca Belair Bayley ending. I felt that was weird, and there was some. Although Bianca was probably still supposed to win, and she did the whole hair tie around her leg thing. There was something weird there because something was off. Like the pin seemed weird. They didn't even show a replay of anything. I think Cole. And I think Cole even jumped the gun again. He did the same thing back at like WrestleMania, where he kind of jumped the gun. And then I was just kind of caught off by it. And then Bianca just kind of leaves the ring weirdly. So there's something there that happened, and it just felt extremely weird. And I guess I would have to go with that as the botch of the night. because something was up there. I don't know, and I'm dying for the dirt sheets to report that of what did go down, because it did seem really, really weird to me. That ending seemed a bit botched for some reason. Like maybe they kind of planned it that way, but something was off. I don't know. I felt there was animosity between the two girls at some point. I don't know. We'll see. Or woman, excuse me. We'll see. But I'm going with Belair, Bailey, and Deng.
Okay. Dave?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're wrong, but that's okay. It is hands down, no ifs, ands, or buts, 100%. The concept of taking people and putting makeup on them and having them be zombies who are reasonably controllable, and it's just the idea of zombies was a botch.
I mean, yeah, I know, but I just, it's a given.
Yeah,
I
applaud you. I seriously applaud you for trying to go somewhere else with that.
Yeah.
Because it is noble of you to not try and obsess about that. But it's also wrong. Like we just have to call out the shit when excuse my French, because I'm trying to behave with my language. We have to call out the crap. Yeah, I obviously am. But we have to call out the crap when there's crap there. And if it looks like a duck, smells like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. And if it looks like,
or in this case, a zombie.
Yes. Oh, there's a gnat in my house. Anyway.
There's a gnat in your house?
A gnat. 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 Is it gnat or is it gnat?
I think it's gnat. It's gnat. It's gnat. Gnat.
Like,
well, Eminem made a song with it, and he always pronounced it gnat. So I'm gonna go with gnat.
Gnat.
Unless they're wrong in Detroit. I don't know. But so far it's a gnat. Gnat.
So
Smarks.
So for the most part, I'm gonna agree that it was probably the zombies was the botch of the night.
You guys are so not noble.
But I will give JLB at least partial credit in my mind, because the ending to the Bianca Belair match was not done right. Bianca was supposed to use her hair to kind of tie up Bailey's legs, and she missed. And she didn't actually wrap her hair around Bailey's legs at all.
Oh, so I just imagined it. Okay.
Well, like
she started to.
She started to wrap it, but then Bailey, in her floundering, moved her legs in a way that it didn't go around her legs. I think part of that plays into. I just had to look it up here. Bailey has not wrestled in a singles match since February 12th.
Wow.
Damn.
And in that time, she has only wrestled in 2 other matches, both of them mixed matches, right? Or multi-person matches. So one of them, she was in it with a mixed match with Sasha Banks and Reginald, and Bianca Belair versus Bailey, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler. And one of them was the mixed tag match, Bianca Belair Street Profits versus Bailey and the Dirty Dogs. That's it. And I think Bailey did not look ring ready. She looked rusty. She looked like someone who hadn't wrestled a singles match in 3 months. And I think that's kind of what it was. But you can't overshadow the fact that they had fucking zombies at the wrestling match.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say this is not making you want to watch Army of the Dead when it comes
No, I
out?
want to watch Army of the Dead, because here's the deal. Army of the Dead does not proclaim to be a real sport. Now, I'm going to point out that just a few weeks ago, people from the WWE reportedly said that the Blood and Guts match at AEW Dynamite, quote, set wrestling back 30 years. and then they have fucking zombies at their pay-per-view.
I would say AEW's Blood and Guts match set us back 25 years to wrestling's heyday.
Yeah.
And this one set us back 30 years to gimmick crap.
That's a valid point.
Yes. Agreed. We do not need to see zombies. I think hopefully WWE has heard the outcries of all of the people saying, yeah,
so
we did not want zombies in our...
Nah, fuck that.
Sorry, I was just gonna say Batista. So a fan had commented to Batista and said, "Hey Dave, I love you, but this zombie shit and then WWE Backlash show was so insulting." And then Batista just goes, "What the hell are you telling me for? You think I booked a bunch of effing zombies? I'm on a damn plane. Shouldn't you be tweeting Vince?" Which is very valid. Obviously,
I'm sure
Dave
just got money to do that. I'm 100% positive. He got paid to,
promote it. Yeah,
to say I've got some friends coming.
That's it.
They very easily could have just taken a line from the movie. And
that's true. That's true too.
But so we are still not in agreement, but most of us are on the side of zombies as the botch of the night. So we will move on.
That was just nobility. Like, he really thinks it's the botch of the night. He's just a good man.
It's me.
He's Canadian, so he doesn't want to pick on things that are obvious crap because they're nice.
So we will move on.
Pick on you guys.
To overhype of the night.
Mute him.
Overhype of the night.
Charlotte's return. Like, I don't know how else to say this. How do you have Charlotte return and just be hyped all over the socials and on every show and not put the title on her? I mean, here's the deal. They could really have set that up as Charlotte can beat Rhea. And Rhea could say, the only way you can beat me is in a triple threat. Or no, I'm sorry, no, because she beat her one-on-one at WrestleMania a year and a month ago. So Charlotte's got Rhea's number, Rhea's got Asuka's number, Asuka's got Charlotte's number, and we could have a really, really fun 6 months with the title rolling around and rematches. And I mean, you could book that out for a year with 3 or 4 title changes and really hype up that division with other people popping in saying, hey, whoa, I want a shot too. I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Don't exaggerate. Number one. Number two, that was from Smarks, so just giving him credit where credit's due. Number two, you do not have to lead the title on somebody for ages to establish credibility. It does not make the title more creditable. What makes the title more credible is having phenomenal people hold it. Meaning you can move it back and forth amongst great wrestlers, and those 3 are great wrestlers. And so that would not hurt that title in the least. I would say that's the overhype. And I love all 3 of those wrestlers, really.
Okay.
Smarks,
what's your thoughts?
Do you want to go on this one first? Just to change it up?
I guess if you really want me to.
Yeah.
Typically, I go on last, but that's okay. Overhype of the night. God, there's so much that I think was hyped up more than it should have been. I'm going to say, and this is not saying it was a bad match overall as a whole, but the Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley whatever match. Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman, Jesus.
I couldn't remember his name. That's how little I fucking cared about this match. And here's what it comes down to. Right. On Raw, they don't have anyone else in the title picture other than, right now, these three people. One of them is the champion. The other two are chasing him. And this match, it might be one that I could have put in most predictable, because I was like, they're not going to take it off Lashley this early. They're going to give him some defenses. But they're also not going to give Drew McIntyre another clean loss. Right. So now the whole purpose of this match was, let's put Braun in there so that Braun can be involved in the finish, Bobby Lashley can win, and Drew McIntyre still looks good. And so for me, that was the overhype of the night, because they hyped it up like it was going to be this battle of monsters. And the parts of it that were good were good. Like, I'm not arguing that it was a bad match. It was a match that I don't think needed to be, and it could have been done as a singles match. I would have much preferred this to have been a singles match, Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley, and have it be a singles where Bobby Lashley comes out as the victor in the end, looking strong. But
I think that's a fair call.
That's a fair call. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I would kind of I would give the brand name of it being WrestleMania Backlash the overhype.
Amen.
Because
that's a good point.
Right? Because, like, I am sorry, a lot of the matches were technically different, I think. Like, McIntyre faced who at WrestleMania? McIntyre faced Lashley
And lost.
And lost. Okay, so you added an extra person.
Lost because MVP.
MJF, huh?
I almost said MJF. MVP said, "Oh, Lashley, do this," and Drew went, "What?" And then Lashley,
which didn't make any sense. And then you kind of had, I mean, that was your only kind of match. I mean, the Asuka faced Ripley, so then you just added Cher into the mix, right? So, I don't know, and I guess maybe the Asuka Ripley match was better on WrestleMania Backlash just because it was weirdly done at WrestleMania.
I got to be honest, I probably would have been a little more excited if they had actually added Cher to the match.
70-year-old woman wins. Oh wait, they've already done that too. That wouldn't have to be a first.
Yeah,
and
as long as Cher doesn't give birth to a hand.
Yeah, it was just honestly like it was very predictable, and even who is Roman facing? Roman faced Edge, right?
Roman faced
at
Cesaro
at WrestleMania.
No, at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was Edge, I believe.
Edge and Daniel Bryan.
And Daniel Bryan. Yeah.
So I guess that's where you get the triple threat aspect. Like, I don't know. It just didn't feel, first of all, WrestleMania Backlash is the stupidest name ever. And if you name it like WrestleMania Hell in the Cell or like WrestleMania Summer, I don't think they did, because they already announced Hell in the Cell and it was just Hell in the Cell. So I was like, thank God. I don't even know why this is a thing. FYI, it's also stupid when you're trying to hashtag stuff. Like, oh my God, are you kidding me? But I digress. Yeah, just the brand being itself. It wasn't a WrestleMania. It didn't feel like a WrestleMania. The stage itself didn't look over extravagant. I don't want it to look WrestleMania-esque, but it just looked like a regular WWE whateverness. I don't know. I'm just giving it to calling it. It's almost as bad as calling, the Edge Randy Orton match the greatest match ever. You don't call your top tier pay-per-view another mixed in with another name for another pay-per-view. Like, I don't know whose idea this was, but Vince was an idiot for agreeing to it because it is lazy booking. It doesn't make any sense. It's technically more work on your end because you have to add a logo with another logo, which I guess that's all you needed to do, and you have the logos anywhere. I'm going crazy. Apologies. Yeah, so I am just going with the brand in itself, a WrestleMania Backlash. Hopefully this is the first and last time they do that. It was certainly overhyped for nothing.
Yeah, I'm changing my answer. It's WrestleMania Backlash.
Yep. I think we're in consensus there. Thanks for going last, man. That was really cool.
Oh,
changing
no problem, because
that was definitely the overhype of the night.
Definitely, for sure.
Definitely overhyping by using the same name twice.
Yeah. Didn't make any sense. Still doesn't.
Nope.
So we will move on because we're in agreement there. We're going to move on to worst performance of the night.
Boy, that's tough because the zombies were pretty good at being zombies.
Yeah.
Can't really argue on their performance.
Yeah. That's
well, no,
I mean,
they weren't.
They weren't because
weren't
they weren't savagely after flesh the entire time.
Exactly. That was the issue. And one of the zombies sat on a chair, no problem, which was weird because I am sorry, zombies wouldn't technically know how to sit, technically speaking. So,
well, the zombies in Army of the Dead like can fight and stuff. So maybe
okay, fair. I'll go first, I guess, since the camera's on moi.
Fuck this.
What was the question again? I'm
just kidding. I have to get some.
Look at the little feed across the bottom. Worst performance of the night.
Oh, right. My bad. Worst performance of the night. Jesus. I'm going to have to go with. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with, I guess, Dominic. Just he's still rusty, but I guess that makes sense because he's never had time to train. I don't know. I mean, that's maybe Bailey. I don't think Dominic's worse than Bailey. Like Bailey's worse than Dominic. So I'm probably gonna go with Dominic being worst performance of the night. That's what I'm sticking with. Fabe?
Yeah. Oh, you unmuted me. Thanks. That was nice of you. I don't know. I mean, I do too know. I'm gonna give it to Pat McAfee. He doesn't have a voice for radio. He has a voice for wrestling, and he needs to continue to train and restart his feud with Michael Cole, Adam Cole, baby. Wow.
Michael Cole, baby. Michael Cole wishes he'd get that big of a pop. Jesus.
Yeah, no joke. So no, that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Pat McAfee. He's not ready for that level of commentary. Not to mention, then you have two face commentators, and they were both legitimately face. It wasn't play-by-play and face. It wasn't. They were both legitimately face, and so it was tough. It was tough because either you can have play-by-play and color commentary, or you can have, if you're gonna have a face commentator, you need a heel commentator to go along with it. Something's not working about the Pat McAfee thing, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, that's part of the thing with him. When he was showing up in NXT, not only did he do some commentary, but he was a heel. And so let him still be a heel, right? But that kind of goes to my long-standing concept that WWE needs to stop switching commentators during the pay-per-views. If you're going to have mixed pay-per-views, that's fine, I guess. I think you shouldn't. I think you should go back to brand-specific pay-per-views as long as you have the brand split, but that's beside the point. I think you should have a dedicated pay-per-view commentary team. So it's not here's Corey Graves and the rest of that crew. And now for this next match, now we've got Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. Oh, but now we're going to go back to Corey Graves and Adnan, whatever. For worst performance of the night, I've got to agree with JLB. To me, it was though Dominic. As an overall, Dominic was the worst performance, just because as soon as they showed the clip of him getting beaten up backstage, I was like, oh, so that's the storyline they're going to tell. Ray's going to go out there and get beat up for 10 minutes. Then Dominic's going to come in, going to pull off a few rudimentary wrestling moves, and then they're going to get the victory. And that's pretty much what happened.
And whatever, he's still garbage at doing a frog splash. I still can't believe he got the win. But I'm sure Ray was happy about it. So,
did you see how much height he didn't get with that frog splash?
It's because his dad hasn't been around long, or when his dad passed, he wasn't able to teach him how to do it right.
Yeah, that's valid point. Oh, Jesus.
That wasn't a jab at Eddie for dying. That was just a
no
jab at the old storyline. I don't know. I think there was a couple of spots that were poor performances, and I can't fault you guys for saying that. I just every single time he was on the screen, it was just like, yeah.
Well, like,
I don't want to hear you, Pat McAfee.
Like I kind of said, I think Bayley at least deserves honorable mention for worst performance of the night.
Yeah, because she messed up her pin.
Yes, she messed up her pin, but she just looked like she hadn't wrestled a singles match in 3 months, and I guess that's true. And it's something that I think we're going to see more going forward. So outside of the pay-per-view and everything, reports have it that WWE is at least thinking of not doing house shows from now on. They weren't very profitable for them for the recent past pandemic. Before the pandemic. And then the pandemic comes along and they had to not do them. And now their thoughts are, we're just going to stop doing them just in general. They don't make us money and all that. But here's the thing. There is a purpose for house shows outside of making money. And it's something that AEW is finding, I think. And that is with this career, when you only do it once a week, it is really hard for you to keep your body and skills in top condition.
Right.
And AEW saw it, like Joey Janela went for a better part of a year wrestling once a week. And I love Joey Janela, but he was getting out of shape. He wasn't wrestling as well. And then he was like, oh crap, I need to go out and start doing independent. And he started to do independent shows, and he got in better shape and all that stuff, because now instead of wrestling once a week, he was wrestling 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And so
I also think there's some promotional value to that. I mean,
there is.
Imagine somebody's back from an injury. You can really test the injury by not having to have them take as high risk of, Jeff Hardy's back from injury. You have him take and have a couple matches with and both of these are throwback people, but Jeff Hardy's back from injury. You have him have a match with Kane, who actively prevents people from getting hurt and does it well. And the other piece is that's how you get the promotional stuff on Thursday in Guyman, Oklahoma, or whatever a small town is in Quebec, small 50,000 person town.
And that's the deal. It also gives them the ability to try out storylines without them being part of the actual storyline, right?
Correct.
So if you don't know if Bianca Belair is going to be popular as a champion, right? You have her wrestle matches against the champion at house shows, and you see how the fans react to her there. And without doing the house shows, I think WWE is going to find that they're going to have a hard time establishing who's actually popular. They're going to have a hard time getting their storylines vetted. And they're also, I think, going to have wrestlers get out of ring shape a lot faster because they're only wrestling once or twice a week. So,
well, I mean, that's what we kind of have now anyways, right? They're wrestling once a week, and granted, they're using the same superstars over and over, but that doesn't necessarily mean the other superstars are out of shape. So, I don't know. I mean, at this rate, I think they do need to still keep at least doing the shows, if not for storylines, kind of more for like, I don't know, rebuilding back your brand, because what you've been doing this past year has been a lot of hot garbage, and you've done what you wanted to because you didn't have the fans kind of saying, hey, we don't like this, we like this. Like, literally, apparently the only reason why Tamina got the championship is because the tag team championships is because they heard the fans at WrestleMania chant her name and cheer her on, and they're like, oh, they really like her, so they gave her that opportunity. So I think it would help older stars that they're not obviously even using right now, just even help with that. Not even as supposed to like showing a storyline, just more along the lines of, hey, the fans are just behind this wrestler, so maybe we should look into actually getting them a storyline, sort of ordeal. Because now it's just they're catering all the Vince, and that's it, So yeah.
Well, yeah, and you test the storylines, all of that. I mean, there's value to every single aspect of that. I think the promotional value is through the roof. I was talking to a friend the other day, and they were like, yeah, my 21st birthday, I went to a professional wrestling show, and it was a local show. I think that gives you the chance to catch some local shows if you do that. To pick up the local talent to come in and take those bumps from Ryback. I don't want to see it be Ryback, but
he's going to retire anyways because he's going
to do what his survey said.
And he says he claims he's tied to whatever the survey says.
Survey says another one for the good guys.
Yeah. So
feed me more.
And that's the deal. Is I think it's a bad move from WWE to not do house shows. I think AEW is going to move in the opposite way and going to start do house shows, if only from a standpoint of like I said, testing out storylines and all of that stuff, helping keeping their wrestlers in tip-top shape, and B, we've established on previous conversations that AEW is trying to fill up a video library that they can then sell to someone or license to someone, a la Peacock taking WWE, so that there can be a streaming service attached to it. So, but we were going to go ahead and move on.
Hold on, one more thing. Honorable mention goes to Seth Taylor on a bad performance for the night.
Yeah.
That suit was bad. Seth Rollins Taylor.
Oh yeah,
respect the drip, man.
Yeah, I do. Except for tonight, that was the worst suit he's worn. That was hideous.
Well, we will move on to worst move. Worst move of the night. So singular move. What? I mean, we could argue that it was Bianca Belair failing the wrap her hair around the legs for the pin.
Is that where you're going? Because I feel like you're going somewhere else. So you're already up. May as well tell me what yours is.
I'm saying honorable mention for worst move of the night was me forgetting to fill out my predictions bracket for JLB's wrestling pool until it was too late. So
yeah, one job.
Yeah.
I could have called you out on your whole. I knew what's his face was gonna. The Mysterios were gonna win. I'm like, oh, I was thinking. Let me go check the results. I'm like, oh, he didn't vote. Mother.
No. I was too busy doing other things like getting ready for a live stream.
Yeah, too busy making excuses. I know. I'm just teasing.
Well, also too busy coughing up a lung, but that's a side thing altogether.
That's fair.
But no. Worst move of the night. I. Probably the one that I'm always going to say worst move of the night is it's Charlotte Flair's stupid backflip to the outside that nobody knows how to catch, so she always just ends up landing basically on her feet and then rolling backwards. And it's never exciting. It's never.
That's a valid point. Like her you're talking about her moonsault, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she does it in every multi-man match that she's in. And
it's always weird because it's always like her moonsault's too high, and it's more like you're doing an acrobatic competition where that's your last finale moonsault backflip, and you're just gonna land it and it's beautiful. But no, you're trying to hurt people here. It never works. I never got why she never perfected that. It's weird because it's a beautiful moonsault. It's just not effective.
I think part of the thing is she knows that no one's ever set up to catch her right, because it should be her landing on top of them like this, but no one's ever ready to catch her like this. So she continues rotating so she can land feet first. And then she basically lands like she just did a backflip and landed on her feet. And so then she's got to do this awkward roll backwards like, oh, so powerful. I fell all the way to the ground. Oh. Other worst move of the night. And I know what she was doing with this, but Charlotte has to get it for her ring attire. It was Cruella de Vil inspired, but her ring attire just looked like Holstein cows. She looked like she was cosplaying as a cow.
Yeah, straight up. I commented on you guys with that. Like, I'm like, guys, what is this? And then, like, first of all, Emma Stone did it so much better. Like, get out of here. I can't wait till that comes out. And that's going to be interesting. But yeah, no, it was just weird. I liked her jacket, but then her actual ring attire was weird. And I was like, and I mean, look, Rey Mysterio did it good. Rey Mysterio had the Batman cosplay, spot on. I don't know what Dominic was. I think maybe he was the Joker with his cosplay. And then, Seth Rollins was just a clown with his suit. So
no, the suit was horrible.
Yeah. But no, yeah, that's worst move though. I guess I know best moves, but we're at worst moves right now. So Dominic's Frog Splash?
Touche.
Yeah, not a whole lot of air, so JLB don't care. I don't know.
That was one of the two I was going to mention. So yeah, I don't blame you there. Any others you got to throw on there?
Well, I mean, Flair's moonsault I have always hated, but I mean, it's just expected with Flair. Yeah, no bueno. I can't think of anything.
Okay.
What do you got?
I've added another one because I had Dominic's Frog Splash on there. Braun's high risk maneuver was pretty bad. Which you actually just sent a meme about that was making fun of it, which is kind of funny.
That was literally a suicide dive.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was bad. The other worst move. Oh, the Archer of Infamy going ahead and commercializing himself with his Archer move to the movie logo above the ring. Pretty bad. That's how I felt.
I would also say the Archer of Infamy watching two people get eaten alive inside the ring by zombies and just being like, yeah, I'll leave. I'm the good guy, and I'm just gonna leave.
And what's weird is the commentators even mentioned something like, "Oh, I think the Miz got like eaten, or not the Miz, but Morrison got eaten over there by the barricade." Oh yeah, it was just right there. We should check if he's okay, or I don't know. They said something like that. Like, why are you still talking about it? No, just don't. It was a stupid scenario, and if you want us to, I don't know, just forget about it. Don't remind us that someone got eaten over there by the barricade. Like, it's not going to help your scenario here or your case because, yeah, Jesus. I almost wish that
never clarified how they got rid of said people. Ever.
No, that's it. That's it. Look, what are you going to do with Morrison now?
Okay, they're gone. Bye. So, yeah, it just so dumb. So dumb.
So dumb.
But
Yeah,
no,
I
would say
who were their
Braun
zombie
Strowman is.
wranglers during the commercial break?
Yeah. it's like Chris Pratt's character on Jurassic World or Jurassic Park or whatever it is, the remake. They're guys that are specially trained in how to handle zombies. Okay. Sure. I don't know. Oh, we lost them both. Can you hear me? I feel
Sorry, I'm just muted because I'm coughing my brain out.
No, that's fine. It's just my podcast, and I'm going to talk about eating Milky Ways. No. Anyway.
What happened?
I don't know. I don't know. You both disappeared at the same time, which was terrifying. It was like, oh my God, did the zombies get him?
That's it. All by myself.
Yeah,
I just decided that it wasn't worth you guys watching me cough my brains out because it was a coughing
You all right there,
fit.
Chief?
I don't know.
Oh, here we go.
That sounds like a no. So
yeah.
if you can just write down the next topic, you can just hold it up to the camera and we'll read it.
Or just change the tag and we'll be able to say it.
Yeah, worst moment. Okay, so it's worst moment now.
Well, no, which we technically did.
No, we just did worst move. Now we're doing worst moment. So worst moment. Yeah, fucking zombies, man. Like, I do feel like we're starting to beat a dead horse. I thank you for earlier when you said something different.
Yeah,
but yeah. Letting somebody get eaten alive is a worst moment. I
mean, yeah.
I don't know what else to say. Like, Graves, the complete and utter ignorance to the fact that people had just got eaten alive on the show, I suppose, is worse. Like,
yeah, that is pretty bad.
You're gonna have this fake thing, and then you're not even gonna sell the fake thing.
Yeah,
because it's so obviously fake.
And I'm sorry. Maybe the worst moment was actually Morrison opening the door, and then he sees the zombies, and it's like, huh?
Well, and he stares forever.
On? Yeah, and then I'm like, why haven't they eaten you yet? What's going on? And why aren't you more terrified when you do talk to the Miz? Like, you're just all kind of like, huh? Okay. What was also really stupid, also maybe a worse move outside of the ring, was maybe Cesaro mentioning that he was chilling with the zombies before his match. And I was just like, you just had the Miz match happen, and we're supposed to kind of believe these whatever. I get it. No one realizes, and so I'll to be different. I'll just go with Cesaro tweeting. Or no, Cesaro tweeting that he was chilling with the zombies, and Morrison actually opening that locker room door and semi-chilling with the zombies out of shockness, and they didn't do anything to him. So those are probably the worst moves that you could have made the zombie thing even more unbelievableness part of it, just because it just made no sense. And so I guess I'll be unnoble again and make it zombie related, because I
don't know how you couldn't on the worst though. I mean, seriously, we could have started every one of these worst categories with zombies, and then it's this.
Yeah, straight up.
Like, what's the worst booking? Zombies. And then what? What's the second worst? That's what this entire podcast should be, is what's the second worst? And
that's
then
it.
We can go on to the best.
Okay.
I feel like we're reviewing Hell in a Cell all over again.
Yeah, worst moment. The Hell in a Cell ending in a referee stoppage because of zombies. Prediction.
Oh my God! Is that what they're doing?
No, it's not going to be, because the zombie movie comes out next week, and so by next month's pay-per-view they'll have some other fucking sponsorship. It's going to be Hell in a Cell goes to outer space with the Fast and Furious people. Don't do that. If you are watching or listening WWE, don't do
that. Vin Diesel comes in, rips the door off the cell.
Yeah.
Breaks in, and that's the end of it.
But no, it's the zombies. Zombies was the worst moment. Whoever in the booking committee was like, "Hey, I got an idea. How about we do zombie lumberjacks?"
Yeah, I don't know why they made this a thing. I really, honestly don't get it. Like, I don't know why
really
even
terrifying. Did they know they were doing this all the way back when they had Bad Bunny on?
I don't think so. No. I don't think so. I think this was just the spur of the moment. Who are we gonna get for lumberjacks? I don't know. And then they randomly saw an Army of the Dead trailer or something, or whatever it's called, Army of whatever.
Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. And they're like, oh, what if we do? Yeah, I feel like it's a Vince thing. What if we do zombies as the lumberjacks? Like, and they're not going to say no to Vince. They'll just say okay. He's like, yeah, that would be some good S word. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm done. Can we switch subjects?
Well, we are finally on to the best.
Oh, thank God. So no zombie talk at all.
Let's see if we can finish this off by figuring out the best moment of the pay-per-view.
Best moment. It was good to see those two guys gang up together and take on the zombies.
Oh, Jesus.
I think I'm going to mute you for that, and then...
You're on mute, good sir.
No, I'm not. I can turn it back on.
Yeah, I just have to do it shortly.
So, but no, I really, as much as I called Bianca's win predictable, you have to be excited to see three people who just got their titles at WWE WrestleMania, not WrestleMania Backlash, but regular WrestleMania, all retain. And so I'm going to go with all three of them, Bianca, Rhea Ripley, and Bobby Lashley, for retaining. That was the best for me.
Okay.
There's something to be said for hey, we do actually have another generation of wrestlers coming.
I guess, but I mean, I just found it very predictable, so I really didn't consider it as a moment. I considered it as lackluster storytelling because you don't know what you're doing. Best moment, I'm gonna have to go with probably kind of how they're booking Roman, how they actually didn't get any of the Usos to come out, and Roman was actually Roman and Cesaro actually had a pretty solid match, I found. Although I knew the result of it, I was still pretty intrigued of how it was going, what they were doing in that match, and the fact that Roman did do it all on his own. And I think the pass out thing is kind of a cop out, but I do get it. So I was kind of happy that they did do it on this one because then it makes Cesaro still also look strong. So as much as I wanted Cesaro to win, I think if he was going to lose, they made it the best way possible. I'm always down to see Cesaro and Seth Rollins fight again. That's going to be a good time, but I just feel like they're putting Cesaro in this loop. And like, what are you going to do with him now? So that is kind of my best moment. That matchup and how that match was booked, I think, was pretty solid. So the ending, I guess, of the match of making Cesaro pass out was my best moment in terms of the booking to make both superstars seem strong as hell.
Okay.
Yep. And that's it.
I'm going to kind of be in the middle here because I think best moment for me as a whole from the pay-per-view was specifically Rhea Ripley winning. Because she won with her finisher, the Riptide, cleanly over her main challenger, Asuka. I think it helped establish her as the champion. My worry going into this, anytime they do the triple threat, the worry is that they're going to have the finish in some way weaken the champion. And in a way, Bobby Lashley winning in a way sort of weakened him. It didn't really, but in a way it did because he wasn't the one who hit the final move on Braun Strowman.
He did a spear after the Claymore. After the Claymore.
Right. But he hopped in and threw Drew McIntyre out and then delivered. And
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And so in a way, it was opportunistic rather than... Now, I get it. He's supposed to be kind of a chicken shit heel in some ways, and so it's not a huge point there. But Rhea Ripley, not only was she involved in the finish, but she was involved cleanly in the finish. It was a clean 1, 2, 3 after hitting the Riptide, which I think is a cool move, so... whereas, like, we mentioned worst moments, just in general in the worst moment, Bianca Belair not just messing up that finish, but that finish just in general was not set up to make Bianca look good. Whereas Rhea Ripley looked good in her finish. So that's my best moment of the night. So we'll move on. This one will be a little bit tougher because there were only, 6 matches?
Yes.
Yeah.
So breakout star of the night, it's going to be a little harder to choose someone for this.
Zombie 27. Don't do me first. Just do him and mute me. It's fine. I deserve it.
Okay. Breakout star of the night. I might have to go with Cesaro. Just because it's about time they're giving him this opportunity to break out. Maybe Ricochet might have been in that picture if I saw the kickoff show, and I was fairly disappointed that Sheamus and Ricochet was on the kickoff. Because by golly, I would have wanted to see that match on the pay-per-view. Or if it was promoted earlier enough for me to watch the kickoff show. Because when, excuse me, because when I heard that match was on the kickoff, I was like, oh my God, couldn't you have not put this zombie crap on the kickoff or something and given me Sheamus Ricochet? Again, I digress. I will have to give it to Cesaro because Cesaro completely looks strong. I think this is the first time he's been in a singles main event. So he just looked even stronger. And yeah, I feel like they're gonna hopefully keep pushing him after this whole Seth Rollins thing. I just don't get the Seth Rollins thing because he already beat him. So what are you doing now? And yeah, so that's who I'm gonna say is the breakout star, Cesaro, just for being the wrestler we know he is, but finally getting that platform to showcase how good he is. That's my go-to.
I'm on. It's terrifying. Anyway, I wholeheartedly agree that that's number one. Number two on my list for this, so that we don't have just Cesaro's singles performance was exceptional, and that's the end of it. My number two on this list, I'm gonna say, is Jey Uso on convincing me that he's Roman's bitch. And the reason I say that is tonight he begged, he didn't just ask, he begged for permission to pick the bones. And that part made me go, oh, you really are Roman's bitch. Like, at first it was, I'm discontent with the fact that I have to take this role because I agreed to it for my title shot. Now it's, boss, please, boss, can I eat some, boss, can I pick his bones, boss? Come on, boss, can I pick his bones? That's what I genuinely thought when I heard it, and I was like, oh, you are selling that. Holy smokes. So
I don't get why they didn't even bring Jimmy out. Like, he was there. Why didn't you make this a thing? Well, what? Like, I don't know what story you're trying to tell. Are you going to make them feud, or are you going to make them partner up with Roman first before you make the brothers feud? I just don't get why you couldn't have used them in this capacity. If anything, instead of bringing Seth, you could have brought out Jimmy and looked like Jimmy was going to save Cesaro. Or maybe Jimmy did save Cesaro. Like, that would have been a better story to tell, to at least just start this feud. Because don't drag me along. Like, that's what they always seem to do on the most ridiculous storyline. Not the ridiculous storylines, but storylines we know that are going to happen. Like, it's point blank in your face right there. Just give me what I want, except for zombies. Batista's fault. Give me that feud happening already, because I don't know what you're waiting for. Maybe it's SummerSlam. I don't know. But yeah, just wanted to put my 2 cents there. You had one brother come out and one brother not do anything. So kind of missed a golden opportunity to maybe make Jimmy Uso kind of a breakout star in that moment too, perhaps.
Yeah. I think Cesaro's the breakout star. Like I said, it's tough because he was already a star, right? And I think the fans all thought that he was a star. It was just waiting for WWE to get it. But so he comes along with this, puts on a heck of a match, and then does the ultimate face pass out rather than give up.
Right.
So
we should also mention Bobby Roode's spine buster here. That returned to stardom maybe a little bit. Okay, you don't have to vomit about it, or maybe you're just coughing right now. I don't know.
Coughing.
So Bobby Roode's spine buster looked as legit as Bobby Roode has done anything in ages. That said, again, I think we're 3 for 3 on voting for Cesaro there.
Yes. So Cesaro, breakout star of the night. That's decided. So now we go to best performance of the night. Since
Best?
JLB is not in the middle of eating a Reese's peanut butter cup.
I'm really just licking the wrapper.
That's pretty nasty. Yes. So
It's peanut butter and chocolate, but like I don't know why you ever call that
performance
nasty.
of the night, just because it's on camera and it's weird. Best performance of the night. Well played. Best performance of the night is well, I guess I have to. Do I give
You don't
it
have
to
to
Cesaro?
mute me, dude.
Do I give it to Cesaro then? Like, I mean, I don't. It's 6 matches, and I don't know. I wasn't obviously feeling anything in the tag match. I, honest to God, really do feel that I would maybe have to give it to Cesaro again. Like, I don't know who else to give it to be frank, who was overly outstanding, more so than usual. So, do I want to give it to maybe The Miz and Damian Priest for trying to fight off zombies? I mean, I don't know, that you got to really be in character to pull that off. And gee golly, they sure did their darndest. But no, mine's going to Cesaro, because I don't know what else to do.
I'll give best performance of the night to Miz and Damian Priest. I'm not putting my camera back up. Now, here's why. No, this isn't the match itself. The reason I'm giving it to that, I'm changing locations in my house, so I apologize. But the reason I'm giving it to that is, at the end of the day, the Miz and Damian Priest did not have a bad match. They had bad circumstances. And there is something to be said for bad circumstances causing the one bad part of their match was where they had to team up to fight off the zombies. Other than that, their match itself was pretty dang decent for a Lumberjacks match. So I'll give I'll give them best performance of the night, having to deal with that. With an honorable mention for, and I don't think we've done best move yet, but to Rey Mysterio's slide belly splash thing that he does. However, I will say, you didn't know Ziggler was laying down there. So what, you just randomly decided to slide and prayed that he was there? Like, stupid. You're not tall enough to see that.
Valid point.
Anyway.
So for me, best performance of the night, this is going to probably surprise DA Fame for me to say it, but I think Roman did the best performance of the night.
I really can't disagree significantly. I personally, now mind you, at the beginning of the year on our predictions for the year show, I predicted Roman would hold the title all year long. And I thought it would be a good thing. 5 months in, I really think it's okay for him to lose it and then pick it back up and have it the rest of the year. Very, very Drew McIntyre. Very Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think he had such a dominant performance overall. I mean, don't get me wrong. Cesaro got his moves in and everything. But it seemed like everything Cesaro came at him, Roman Reigns had scouted. Roman Reigns attacked his arm so he couldn't hit the European uppercuts and all of that stuff, couldn't hit the neuralizer. And so they told a really good story with that about Roman being prepared for him. Also, Roman beating him clean without interference, I think, was a very important storyline element. That he was proving that he's the head of the table, not because he's got underlings, but because he's the head of the table.
Right.
And so I think that's important. There also were some great moments even afterwards when Jey Uso came in with the lei necklace, whatever you want to call it, to give to him. Roman looked at him kind of with contempt at first before allowing him to, put the necklace around his neck, and then before begrudgingly allowing him to go beat up on Cesaro. And even the little stare down when Seth Rollins came in and kind of congratulated him, but really just wanted to get past him to beat up on Cesaro some more. Mm-hmm. These were all little performance moments that I think
hypothetically asking for permission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't think he was asking permission necessarily.
Hypothetically, he smiled and looked at him like I'm just out here for that. Mm-hmm. Like I don't want you to kick my ass, bud. I'm just out here for that. I'm a hyena. There, Mufasa. I'm just a hyena. I want to pick the bones.
Mufasa. Ooh. Say it again.
Roman Reigns. Ooh.
So that's why Roman gets my vote for performance of the night. Second is Cesaro.
That's not a bad call too, though, because honestly, Roman looked hell powerful. This is and clearly that's what they're doing with him, right? They've been building that up, the whole WrestleMania thing where they puts both guys and he pins both of them. They're doing all of this to make him look powerful. I swear to God, he better not lose to like Goldberg or something, though, or Brock Lesnar, because if you're doing all this work to make him lose to some douche and it's not someone you're going to try to bring on up, then I'm gonna be pissed.
If they bring back Brock, they have to have Heyman look at Brock and go, "Listen, man, you don't want to do this."
My goodness, it's going to be Ryback.
Oh Jesus!
I will slaughter you if that comes true.
He's going to retire, guys.
That's the reason he's trolling us with this whole thing. He's going to surprise everyone and show up at SummerSlam and beat Roman.
Listen, don't give Vince ideas.
And why can't Ryback just go to GCW and have a... Nah, I don't want to wish an injury on anybody, but...
Yeah, you just did, you evil individual. Just retire. Just do what your Twitter followers are telling you and retire. And we
Ryback
will all
versus Nick Gage.
Oh, that was a great episode, by the way. Wow. And I actually got to find the David Arquette and entire Nick Gage match. And it was as bad as they were saying. Great. I love it. Honestly, between the greatest things going on in WWE right now is not their content. It's the A&E biography specials. It's the A&E treasure specials as well. It's also just the WWE Network's docuseries and Vice's Dark Side of the Ring. It's all of their documentary content that literally is killing it for the WWE. That's making it worthwhile to watch those certain things. But the actual product in itself is a heck ton of a work in progress. Because by golly, I am so happy I don't watch Raw, because I get the feedback from what happened at Raw and I'm just like, wow, that would have been a waste of my time. Then when you have a waste of a pay-per-view like this, which I'm going to watch, of course, because I want to do the review and so on and so forth. But I mean, nothing really happened except, okay, cool. We have Mysterios as tag team champions. Nothing might as well have happened because no one cares. No offense. Sorry, not sorry. And I'm out. Okay, that's all.
So we will move on to underhype of the night. This is the sleeper moment of the night. The thing that they didn't talk about and somehow or another turned into something big.
I'd probably go with the Rey Mysterio match. Technically. As much as we're kind of dogging on it or whatever, I don't know. I didn't see the Rey Mysterios winning. I guess maybe I didn't catch on with them alluding to this will be the first time that this ever happens. So I don't recalling them saying that, but it's definitely down WWE's alley to say such a thing. So I was kind of shocked by it. But again, it's still kind of useless. So that was my hype underhype that ended up at least giving me a little bit of shockery. But that's just because I'm not really watching the product. I'm not hearing the commentators talk about Ray and Dom being the number one of things. So I'll go with that because I don't know what else would be the underhype that was better than expected.
Oh,
We'll move to DA Fabe. What was your underhype of the night?
I mean, we didn't know the zombies were coming until later. Wasn't better than expected. As soon as I knew they were doing it, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be crap. Maybe the Dominic match. I might actually have to give you this.
I think I've been killing it with my picks this time. Have you forgotten people to switch? Or
I guess just to be different, I would say I felt hyped up about Cesaro and Roman. I knew Cesaro could put on an incredible match, but they didn't. They hyped the Jimmy return as much as the match. So I'll say that match. Maybe. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Just don't want to give it to me.
I don't know.
What a douche.
I'm not giving you enough tonight.
Fair.
I have a hard time saying it's the Rey Mysterio match, if only because of the amount of hype that they did give it in advance. But of all the matches, I mean, the real underhype of the night was, Ricochet versus Sheamus on the kickoff show.
Oh,
that
I know.
Literally didn't fucking announce.
They didn't, though, right? I wasn't just not paying attention. They didn't.
I didn't hear anything about it. And the reason I can say I didn't hear anything about it is I didn't watch the kickoff show because I didn't hear an announcement of a match for it. So I'm like, it's just gonna be talking fucking heads. And then nope, it was Ricochet versus Sheamus. And probably, if we counted pre-show matches, probably would have been up there for match of the night contention.
Yeah.
Straight up. We don't count kickoff show matches, so.
And none of us watched it, so
yeah,
really.
And of course, we're here in the States. The two of us watching here on Peacock, we can't rewind. So watch. If we found out about it afterwards, we're SOL. I'm looking at you, Peacock.
That's valid. That must really suck.
Look at that. I'm so angry I'm getting asthma from it.
Oh, it sucks to be your asthma. That's culture right there. Throw in a Lord of the Flies reference.
But so we will move on to OMG Moment. The moment of the night that we said, oh my God. And unfortunately, even though this isn't the best segment, it probably was zombies, wasn't it? We said, oh my God.
Oh my God. Well, it could have been oh my God, they didn't replay where she tied up Bailey's feet because I didn't see that. I didn't see it because it didn't happen. So I suppose that's kind of in that category. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Possibly. No. The power bomb through the table was kind of an oh my God moment.
The suicide dive from a 385-pound man.
Yeah, that looked like he was legitimately trying to commit suicide.
Yeah, I mean that's a valid point for sure.
I mean Charlotte does that moonsault enough that you don't really say oh my God to it. Oh my God, here comes Dominic, but he didn't really have an injury before, so I suppose that's fine. Oh my God, would this be more enjoyable to watch along on YouTube than it would be on pay-per-view? Because the Ray and Dominic match, or the Ray and Dirty Scoundrels, or whatever their name is, match was being watched by Ray's daughter and wife. I don't know. It's probably zombies. Oh my God. They're going to have zombies in this match.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There's even one under the commentary table. Like somehow they didn't know that guy went under there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, even though this is supposed to be the best segment, that's really the oh my God moment. We're like, oh look, they're doing a sponsorship with the Army of Dead movie. That's kind of fun, right?
Oh my God.
Then, oh my God, they're gonna work this into actual. Oh my God, they're gonna actually use the zombies on. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very oh my God. I definitely said oh my God a few times, but in the worst way possible. So definitely not going to be giving it to the Zomskis. Oh my God moment. I was going to make a joke out of it. I mean, honestly, anytime Bianca Belair comes into the ring swinging her hair, I feel like a referee's eye is going to get knocked out, because it's been twice now. I think once was at WrestleMania. I've heard that she actually hit the ref, and okay, no, it's not. It was a bad joke, but I see it happen all the time, and I'm just oh my God-ing my way through life because the referee's always so close to her hairs. Yeah, I'd probably have to go with the suicide dive was something. Oh no, I'm sorry. I am switching it to the Falcon Arrow that Drew McIntyre.
It was a Michinoku driver.
Oh, the Michinoku driver that McIntyre did on Braun.
Yeah,
heck?
That was
pretty solid.
Moment.
That
was the sort of thing that 20 years ago they would have been comparing to Hogan slamming Andre the Giant.
Yeah,
and it kind of shows how much things have changed recently, that it wasn't that big of a deal this time.
Even the suplex that they did where they teamed up to see Braun Strowman up in the air for that long. I get it. They're two strong guys and they can definitely do it. Cool. Like no problem. But oh my God, to just have him up there. And I was like, this is the first and last time I will probably see Braun Strowman go up that high. Like, holy heck.
Well, they're both two strong guys that can do that. But at the same time, it did take, it was a really bad move watching Bobby Lashley try and do the choke slam powerbomb thing to Braun. Mm-hmm. Like he barely got any air. Mm-hmm. So maybe that should have been our botch of the night, but nope, still zombies.
Yep, zombies. So we will go ahead and move on to best move of the night. This is our second to last category. So we're on the home stretch here.
Michinoku driver. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just
Michinoku driver.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
You call that a Falcon Arrow.
Whatever.
I can't steal your stuff if you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I meant, which is very interesting. No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine because I'm right and you're wrong.
I mean, you can have the flowers, good sir. You can have the flowers.
That's right.
I wish I had flowers here and I'd point it to the screen, but I got no flowers in my room. I want to say something that Cesaro did. There we go. But you have them already, so that doesn't work. I was supposed to give you flowers. Let me think. I felt like
Cesaro swing.
No, I mean, I was thinking, I was like, man, how come he didn't do the Cesaro swing? I'm like, how would he do the Cesaro swing? Braun Strowman's a big dude, and
Roman.
Jesus Christ, Roman Reigns is a big dude. Like, I think maybe Cesaro can do it, but once they were doing his whole arm thing and they were working on that, I was like, okay, that's just not even going to be a thing to make it happen, because he probably could, but maybe 2-3 swings out of it. Not there was no 32 swings that he was going to do on Roman, and if he did, whoop, kudos to him.
As much as I agree with Cesaro doing stuff, I remember that I should have put in the botch of the night moment Cesaro's sharpshooter that he didn't even put on right and then couldn't even hold on to.
I don't think that was a botch, though. I thought it was very innovative for him to try and to maintain it with the injured
with
arm.
one arm.
So.
Yeah, that's it.
He probably wouldn't have struggled so much if he would have put it on the right way in the first place.
Shut up.
Jesus Christ.
It's easier.
Yeah. What category are you on again?
Best move. And I'm 100%
scrolling across the bottom.
Yeah,
I'm 100% on the Michinoku driver. That was by far
the fucking arrow.
Yeah, mostly because you just fucked up my head by saying it that way. So I blame you for everything.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, because that move, honestly, craziness. Yeah, Michinoku driver all the way for sure, especially on Braun. Like, oh my god, how craziness!
Yeah.
So now who's stealing shit?
Yeah.
Wow,
Thief.
one.
Yeah.
We will move on to match of the night. Best match out of all 6 of the night, not counting kickoff show.
Not counting the zombies.
I mean, if you want to put the zombies in match of the night, that's your prerogative. But I will then send everyone after you, because I'll be like, JLB thought that was the match of the night.
Go get him. Hey, there was people defending the match, though. Like, some WWE stands are just too much. Like, call it what it is. And they're like, oh no, but it's entertainment, or you guys take everything so seriously, or like, it's not about taking anything seriously. It's about really thinking we're absolute morons too, and thinking this is actually a good freaking move to do. Like, you want to be a tad realistic, but it's entertainment. I get it, it's entertainment, but it's not a freaking I don't know. It's not it's not something to be in wrestling. Like,
no, here's what it comes down to: is if you are, as a fan, like the zombies, right? That's your prerogative. You have the ability to like the zombies, but by liking the zombies in WWE, you do have to understand you give up the rights to complain about Orange Cassidy in AEW, Luchasaurus in AEW, any of the weird stuff AEW does, right? Because that's the deal. It's all or nothing. Like, if you want to make fun of Luchasaurus in AEW, then you cannot also just be like, yeah, whatever, it's just zombies. For WWE, you have to kind of go both ways. And here's the deal: is I don't like the zombies in WWE. I like Luchasaurus, but partially because Luchasaurus does the whole thing tongue in cheek. We're not supposed to believe he's actually a dinosaur. We're supposed to believe he's a guy who thinks he's a dinosaur. That's a big distinction there, right? Orange Cassidy is not literally a sloth. Orange Cassidy is just a guy who will put the minimum effort into wrestling that he needs to. And when he has to, he pulls out the stops. So, but that's all it comes down to. I mean, if you like the zombies in WWE, more power to you. Have fun with it. But you forfeit your right to make fun of things in AEW. That's my thought. So,
yeah, it's a valid point. So did I go? Did I mention mine yet or no? Match of the night. I would have to be the main event. For me?
The what?
It's match of the night. No.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which
the
match?
main event. The main event.
No.
Sorry, the main event. Jesus Christ.
Main event.
Main event.
Cesaro versus Roman Reigns, match of the night. Just because it had the most action in it, and I didn't like the triple threat Lashley match, or wasn't an overly huge fan of Flair being in the triple threat women's match. So my match of the night is Cesaro versus Roman Reigns in the WrestleMania Backlash main event.
Thank you for enunciating La. I'm gonna say something, and I'm gonna get disagreement, and I'm okay with that. This is the best match Braun has had in ages, and because Braun was actually entertaining in this match, because all three were really great powerhouses. I would say the worst part of this match was being reminded that it's no disqualification over and over and over again, and so I am going to give it to Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Braun. I think they all did really, really well in this match. I think that it was a well played match. That's where I have to go with it. I really do believe that was the best match of the night.
Yeah, I'm a bit torn because storyline wise, storytelling wise, Roman versus Cesaro told the best story and was probably the best match of the night from that standpoint. But then when you put in ring work and everything, I think the Braun, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre maybe was the best in terms of ring work. The triple threat with Asuka, Rhea Ripley, and Charlotte was very solid ring work and everything. But like JLB, I would have preferred it to be a singles match, just two people. So I'm kind of torn on which one I would go with. I think overall, I think it's going to be Roman versus Cesaro. But the Bobby Lashley one, it's a viable option. So I'm going with the main event.
The main event. Did you just say the mismatch? Is that what you said?
I would never do such a thing.
So that's our choices here. We're split on a lot of them, split on match of the night. So let us know in the comments or on social media what you think. You can find all of the links for our social media and all that stuff in the doobly-doos below this on whatever platform you're looking at. So you can see that there. Doobly-doos are going to tell you all about what where to find everything. It includes our link to our Patreon, our merch store, all of our social medias, all the different places you can listen to this podcast, including YouTube and Facebook, so you can participate in the live streams because we are recording it now live on Facebook and YouTube. So
go to the doobly-doos, click on the links that for Patreon, merch, or socials.
Yep.
That's what you do.
All of those in the doobly-doos. So, but on that note, we're going to wrap things up. All in all, a disappointing pay-per-view, not for the in-ring work, but for all of the other crap that came along with it for WWE.
I'm pretty sure we call this a good pay-per-view, if not for zombies.
I think the zombies really did a lot to ruin it. I just think, in some ways, I think it was just overbooked. Like, if instead of it being a triple threat, it was just Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. If instead of it being a triple threat, it was just Bobby Lashley versus Braun Strowman, I think we would have thought this was a pretty good pay-per-view. I think it was overbooked, and then add in the fucking zombies, and that threw it all for a loop there. So, but because I've been dying, coughing, and having to mute all this, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. You can follow us on the social media. You can follow me at Raw and Order WBU. You can follow DA Fabe at
DA Vincent Kayfabe, but you probably won't see me.
And you can follow JLB at
JLB420. Real Talk Radio is the brand at Real Talk Radio 8. I am going to have the Nick Gage review up with my boy Mike. We talk about what we liked about that episode. And you will also find there as well the review for the Brian Pillman one as well. So that will be up tomorrow. Anchor.fm/RTR, where you can find all the streams. And we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. So let the good times roll. Backlash was A-okay, not that great. And back to you, Officer Smarks.
So in talking about Nick Gage, I don't know if you saw how Moxley showed up at GCW yesterday after Nick Gage defended, and so they brawled to outside the ring and left. But the best part of it, the absolute best part of it, was when someone tweeted a video of that online. Renee Paquette responded, "That son of a bitch told me he was going to the gas station." And I thought that was just funny.
I didn't see that. That is funny.
That's funny.
But yeah, I'm curious to think. I'm wondering if they're just going to do that on GCW, or if maybe AEW will try to pick that up.
I'm kind of looking at it both ways. I can totally see it being just a GCW match
thing. Yeah,
because of how hardcore GCW does. And AEW, while they've done some of those matches, like the Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa recently, and the Kenny Omega barbed wire exploding death match with Jon Moxley, AEW does not have the best overall track record for deathmatch style matches, and so I could see GCW being like, nah, we got this one, right? Yeah. Maybe we'll let you use footage from it. Yeah. They don't use fireworks; they use fucking fluorescent light tubes.
That's insane.
Just ask David Arquette.
Oh, yeah, that was. I saw that whole match too. Honestly, Nick Gage was kind of a dick. So I understand Arquette being angry. So, but I'll digress. If you guys want to check that out, there's another podcast to at least listen.
But it's okay. David Arquette made it all up to him. He sent him a mattress,
a king size mattress. Yep.
But on that note, we will close the book on this review of Backlash. Thank you all for joining us. Those that joined for the live stream, thank you. Those that are listening to us on the audio version or watching later down the road, thanks for stopping in. We will see you soon.
Yeah. Bye-bye.